Hello everyone, I am back at the vlog today and it's a lovely day, which really makes a change because we've had horrible rain and wind for the last few days, but yesterday was also really lovely and I came up and cracked on with a couple of big jobs. So I'll show you what I got up to yesterday and then we'll get on with some very exciting things today. Josh just dropped me off with a bootload of stuff, so I'll show you what I brought with me. Anyway, yeah, let's see what I got up to yesterday and then get cracking today. The first job on the list was to tackle this mound. It's the last nettle patch on the plot and it had just become a little bit of a dumping ground, and when I'm taking photos of the plot you can just see this black plastic and it was really annoying me. So the black plastic had been down for quite some time, so the nettles had actually pretty much died away. We were just left with some stalks. All the leaves were dead and the roots in the ground were dying off, so they're pretty easy to pull up. The black plastic itself was just a home for slugs and snails. I did find a couple of toads under here. Here I am trying to catch a toad and putting it in the back of the plot, but I can't understand why they were under there. It must have been boiling. But yeah, so now this patch is gone and pretty much the last of the black plastic is also gone. I think there's less hiding places for the slugs, but also less hiding places for the toads, so I really need to get on it with the making toad houses, because I mentioned that a couple of videos back that toad abodes are a thing and people use like old broken terracotta pots upside down for them to go in and have some shelter. But I love having toads on the plot. I think they are so cute. I know a lot of people really don't like frogs and toads and I just don't know why. They're so sweet. They've got such cute little faces. But I'm pretty sure I recognised these two toads that I found. They looked really similar to toads that I had relocated in the past. That might sound weird, but yeah, I did I did recognise these two toads. I'm just having a break from nettle pulling. And look, I started digging around for some potatoes because I thought there'd be some ready for dinner tonight, and look, perfect potatoes. I think that's it for this one plant, but that's pretty good. Look at them, they're lovely, perfect potatoes. I'm tempted to pull this plant up as well. We got one. I think potatoes are officially my favourite crop to harvest. This was so exciting. I was only going to take one plant up, but I ended up taking 3. And the potatoes were just so perfect. I couldn't tell the difference between the Charlotte and the Sharps Express until I cooked them and cut into them. You could see like one was a lot more yellow than the other. I did mix these up when planting, but I cooked them both as a boiled new potato and they tasted amazing. I'm so happy with them all. I can't wait to pull up the rest. So exciting. Look at this lot. Look at the size of that. Whopper. Right, I'm gonna spend another half an hour on this and then definitely need to pick some more sweet peas. Right, the patch is almost done. There's just a couple of little bits that need pulling, like in that corner there, and then I think little bits of bindweed which I need to get out. But yeah, that was all the roots that I pulled up. That is a big pile. So before I go, by the way, that took me about 45 minutes, not half an hour, although I did stop to talk to my neighbour. I am going to pick another big bunch of sweet peas. Can't believe it, there's so many. I will have to tie these up tomorrow because they are getting quite floppy. But yeah, look. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, let's get picking. Are you going to say hello to me this time? Hello? 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 No. Another beautiful bunch, and look how long the stems are. I can't even... There we go. They're crazy long. It's amazing. So here are the extra super long ones. Oh my gosh, loud bird. And here are some which you can see got a little bit strangled by the tendrils, which means they are not straight, and we'll have to go in a little mini baby vase, but yeah, pretty. So we've just brought up my peppers. I've got 6 with me. They've been quite nibbled and they're a little bit yellow. I think that might be to do with a cold. So they will be going in the greenhouse today. Oh yeah, I didn't even show you that I actually brought my pepper plants up about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and they've been living in the greenhouse. They're looking quite good. They're starting to get flowers now, and I think these are 8-litre pots. Also the tomatoes are doing amazing. I've got flowers and little baby tomatoes forming, but these really need pruning and tying up, so that's another job for today. Also, all the pumpkins are getting planted out today, all of them. So the chilies will go on this bench, peppers along here, so I'm going to dismantle this thing. Yeah, then we're going to have a clear greenhouse just for tomatoes, chilies and peppers. Now that I've picked some of the, harvested some of the potatoes, I'm actually going to put a squash in here. I'm going to do another dig around, make sure I've picked out any of the little tiny baby potatoes. Don't really want those re-sprouting. I'm going to stick a squash there, I think, to make the most of the space. Going to do a full-on weed of the paths, although I'm kind of tempted to just let the grass grow. It was my intention to do wood chip paths. Oh, it's windy. But now I've seen like the grass patches growing, I'm so tempted to have grass paths. Dunno. I left most of the squash out in their pots last night to see what would happen. They are still here, so I think, yeah, they're going to be planted out now. Oh, and I've got a couple of beans with me. They are very, very long. Oh yeah, and I've brought my aubergine up, which has also been loved by the slugs. But it started to put little new leaves out. There we go, you can see all its little new shoots, so maybe it'll do something. But I didn't have very good luck with aubergine seeds this year. So yeah. Next job on the list is to fill this little raised bed. This one is going to be for pumpkins, and I was debating whether to just have a flower bed here, but I'm actually going to plant the Jilby Little pumpkins, the very small, cute looking ones, in this bed, and I'm going to grow them vertically. So in the past I've grown them over an archway just out of containers in my garden, and they've done really well. So I think this is going to work absolutely fine. A couple of people also have been commenting on previous videos saying that the cardboard is going to stop the roots getting into the ground and there's not enough compost in here. The cardboard breaks down very quickly, and if I'm planting straight into it, as in the day I lay the cardboard and the compost, I will just make a hole through the compost so that the roots of whatever plant can get into the ground. The cardboard is there to stop any of the weed seed germinating, and it will slow down the bindweed or whatever is in the soil, and it'll also attract worms. Worms love cardboard, and the cardboard in the other raised beds is already pretty much disintegrated. The sweet pea bed, for example, that cardboard is pretty much long gone, and the fact that the sweet peas have grown that big, they've had no issue getting to the soil beneath the compost layer. So yeah, there's nothing to worry about there, and I'm not worried either. So this is the beginning of my pumpkin frame. Only the little baby pumpkins are going to go in here, the Jilby Littles. Yeah, and then the sunflower and some flowers here, and then probably I'll squeeze some snapdragons around there as well. Okay, I made a mess, but what I'm thinking is moving the tomatoes from that side to this side, because the sun comes from this direction and moves around like that, and I'm thinking when those tomatoes are fully grown, like up here, they'll probably be shading the peppers, and the peppers aren't going to be as tall as the tomatoes, so I think switch the tomatoes to that side, peppers this side. Okay, I actually prefer it that way round, and obviously then the tomatoes will grow up nice and tall, and also give this greenhouse a little bit of privacy, because obviously it's right by the main path. I feel like everyone can just see in and straight through, but yeah, I really need to prune and tie up those tomatoes now. But it's too hot in there, so I think I'm going to do that last. Made a mess, but that's alright. I think what I'm going to do is do some planting, so I'm going to get the pumpkins out and the beans and those pumpkins. Let's go. Another bed done. So I ended up putting 4 Jilby littles in here because I just had 4 plants and I thought they're really small, and considering I've grown them in pots and buckets before, I think they'll be fine so close together. And obviously if one gets eaten there will be some left behind. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm really hungry. I've still got the Queensland Blue pumpkins to get out, and they are big, so I'm only planting 2 of those in the back. Oh, and I've got another patty pan to go out, and I was going to plant one of the spare pumpkins in the potato bed, but I'm so hungry. I think I'm going to leave it for today, and I'm just going to come back tomorrow morning bright and early, or in the evening. I don't know, I do have work to do tomorrow. Right, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to do a really quick tidy up, pull off any of the dead leaves that were on the pumpkins that I just planted out, so there'll be nothing to attract the slugs. Tomorrow's job, prune tomatoes. Still haven't done it. Oh my gosh, exhausted. Yeah, and get the Queensland Blue in that bed, and then done. Absolutely done. Oh yeah, and weed the paths because it is getting super weedy. And pot up the Jerusalem artichoke. Yeah, Jerusalem artichoke. I'm going to stick it in another pink bucket for now. Because it's growing like crazy and it's got barely any soil in that little pot, and it's romping away. Right. I'm so tired. Definitely time to go home. Right, see you tomorrow. I am back at the plot, and I do honestly only have an hour here, so I'm setting a timer. I need to leave by 6. I need to get home, but I just have to finish these jobs, like getting those pumpkins out. I just bagged up all of the nettle roots, and who is that speaking? I do finally have the Merlin bird ID app, because I've upgraded my phone. I actually have storage for it now. Anyway, I was just using it, and apparently there's goldfinches around here. I've never seen a goldfinch though. They're crazy. It was just picking up a song thrush and a wren. Maybe the song thrush was shouting at me because I was too close to a nest or something. There are so many birds. Can't remember what I was saying before I got distracted and the birds started shouting at me. Yeah, I've got an hour, so tomatoes, water, the last of the pumpkins in, and I think I have to pick the sweet peas again. It's quite a few there again. Look who's back. I just put some mealworms down, but as soon as I got up, he flapped away, or she flapped away. Pretty sure it's the same one that keeps coming back, because look, I can see its little white patches. Here we go. I'm not gonna hurt you, I just want to give you some food. Can anybody tell whether this is a rook or a raven? I can't tell the difference. I know they have a difference in size more than anything, so unless they're side by side, I don't think you can really tell. Okay, I'm gonna get on with my pumpkins then. I'll leave you to it. Now we're on to pruning the tomatoes. I let the plants grow as big as possible, and now that they're all starting to flower and have little tiny fruit on them, I thought it was about time to get the suckers removed and the lower leaves and get some more space for airflow to occur. I don't know why I said that so weirdly. You might have just noticed that I plonked all of my spare squash everywhere in any gap that I had, and a lot of people have been commenting actually saying, you do realise how big these pumpkin and squash are going to grow. And yes, I know. I know they're going to be big, they're going to vine everywhere and cover my paths, and that's kind of what I want. I'm only going to let each plant produce probably maximum 4 fruit anyway. I'm going to try and control them. But the thing is, now that everything's planted out, I feel like I have so much space that I just wanted to fill. And I don't mind these pumpkins going down the pathways and, creating chaos. I just want a full plot to make the most of it. A lot of the seeds and things that I sowed direct didn't work, like the beetroot and some of the radish, and all of my beans got eaten. I sowed so many French dwarf beans, and I think I've got about 2 plants left. so I'm not even going to have those to fill in the gap. So I'd rather the pumpkins just sprawl and do whatever they want, because yeah, I don't have anything else to fill the gaps with. I think I will have to go on a garden centre trip and get some more climbing French beans if there's any left, and dwarf French beans if I can get any, because I've used up all of my seeds, and yeah, everything's just been eaten this year, which is really, really annoying, but that's it's fine. It's not just a problem for me, it's a problem for like everyone in the UK this year. But yeah, I'm just lucky that the crops that I do have left are doing so well, like the tomatoes, peppers, chilies, the potatoes have done amazingly, the sweet peas, I've got onions and all these things that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have this allotment plot. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Even though things have been eaten, I am happy and I'm excited, and yeah, I just love being at the allotment. I love gardening, and anything that comes out of the allotment this year is just an absolute bonus, in my opinion. Right, here we go. I'm not going to give a plot tour today. I'm going to do that next week, but I've just finished watering everything. I didn't get round to doing all the weeding, but yeah, the pumpkins did survive the night, and I don't know whether that happened in the night or that had happened in the greenhouse, but they're looking good. I did plant some of the tiniest little snapdragons around the edges. Whether they'll survive, I don't know, but I didn't want to keep them in the greenhouse, so just chucked them in. Yeah. I weeded one little piece of path and I didn't even get all the grass up, and that took too long. And I didn't do this because I've noticed I definitely saw a ladybird in here. Thought that was it then, but no, that's just a little bud. Didn't want to get rid of this. Felt bad. Everything is looking so good. I'm so happy. I'm definitely gonna have to pick some sweet peas now, because yeah, so many have opened like in the last day. Look at my beautiful foxgloves. Look at this one. Obviously the pink one's my favourite. Sorry guys. Last of the pumpkins are in. Yeah. This borage plant, it got nibbled by a something on the stem, so I'm just going to push that up a bit. I've made it a little support. I don't know whether it will like heal itself over. It's only a little hole, but the stem was bending. So yeah, I'm hoping this thing comes back to life because it's got flowers on. Snapdragons that I planted, don't know, it must have been over a month ago, not sure, but they are looking so good. Their foliage has become so shiny and they've become so bushy from the bottom, which is amazing. This one's got a little bud. I'm so impressed with them. And then even these guys that I planted last week, they've really perked up. And the nasturtium flowers have opened, so hopefully by next week these will be looking so much better. Really hope the pumpkins survive. And obviously this got sorted out. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for me to go home. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed a longer video for a change. I will see you again next week. Bye.